Happy holidays, everybody. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. My Christmas was really chill, right? So anyway, let me just talk about episode 2 of Married to Medicine. Dr. Contessa, she had a 70s themed party. This was the year she was turning 49, I believe. She's never had a party for herself. Now, I don't know if that means that she's never had a party in general, like since childhood, or if she's just never threw a party for herself, right? But I was like, oh. Dr. Contessa, she was showing a lot of jealousy on this episode, and I don't like that from her. I love Dr. Contessa, but she was throwing a lot of shade at Brandy, and she was mad that the ladies was talking junk about Dr. Scott not helping her plan the party, even though she was complaining about Dr. Scott not planning the party or not helping her with the party. Make it make sense. Now, I agree with Dr. Heavenly with that. But Dr. Heavenly and Contessa, they've had their issues in the past, and Dr. Heavenly has just decided to let her go as it pertains to her relationship with Dr. Scott. But it was crazy. I like Dr. Contessa. She seems like a genuinely sweet, kind person. Out of everybody, she seems the most probably down to earth and stuff. But yeah, it was weird. It was weird how she was going on and on. I said, girl, huh? And then you bring it up to your friends, but you want support, but then you don't want them to talk about it. And it's just, what's going on? What's really going on? She looked nice at her party, but she wasn't the best dressed. And it's her party. The best dress out of the women was Dr. Mimi. And the best dress out of the men was King. Quad's man. Speaking of King and Quad. I'm rooting for them as a couple, but there's something very performative about them on the show. I can't quite put my finger on it. But she is doing IVF, and she's trying to have King's baby. They still stay in separate places. And that works for some people, staying in separate places. Hell, sometimes you get along with people better. But it's interesting. She's trying to have his baby, but y'all are... there seems to be a disconnect, even though they're connected in some kind of ways. Because I really, in my mind, I feel like King don't want a baby. I think King has kids or has a child. And he even mentioned on there, he was just like, well, if this whole IVF thing don't work, then I could have just bought a car. That pretty much tells me everything I need to know, Quad. Watch it. Angel Love, beautiful girl, but why is she here? Let me see. The boys the men were getting on Dr. Eugene because he made a comment saying the nurses really like him because he's working at 5 different hospitals. It's all 2 hours away, but he's making a ton of money, right? Of course, Toya sit back and complain about that she can't see her husband, but then, she having whole parties for purses. So, whatever. But he said that no, a lot of nurses are men, and they appreciate the way that I run the hospital and stuff. So they really enjoy me and want to work with me. And I'm glad that he clarified that because nurses aren't just women. There's this stereotype that only a nurse is a woman, but that's not the case. I have good friends of mine who are nurses and who are men. So shouts out to all the male nurses and shouts out to all the female nurses. Okay, what else is going on? Dr. Simone and her sons. What can you say, right? What a hot mess. What a hot mess. Those boys. I'm not a doctor. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I'm just a drunken whore from South Carolina. But I just couldn't imagine being in Dr. Simone's predicament and then having Cecil not have her back on anything. How crazy, right? And she had to clarify. She was just like, I'm the only one with a doctorate degree at the table. So wait a minute. Y'all check yourself. And she had an explosive moment. The son came in, wanted a new car. Ain't worked in a pie factory, but wanted a new car. Just amazing. There's just a fine line. Everything is in moderation in life. You don't want your kids to struggle. You don't want your kids to have to work as hard as you had to for what you have. But the flip side of that is raising a bunch of spoiled, entitled little people. And the world is going to let them know what time it is. When your head go cold as the parents, when you clock out of this world, and or when you cut them off or whatever, or they leave the nest, the world is going to let you know what time it is. So it's just best to just prepare them best you can while making them earn all the things that you can give them. Which I feel like Dr. Simone probably has, but I'm so disappointed in Cecil. He just sit there and make cocktails and worry about what Tammy doing. Y'all remember Tammy? What else is going on? I think that's it. The final scene was just my boy spent 60K. 60K. I think it was little Michael. Spent 60K in a year on what? DoorDash. So anyway, the final scene was just Brandy. Her husband threw her a dinner party. Dr. Contessa was hating the whole time. And then Simone revealed that she wants out of her marriage, child. Yeah, that was it. Y'all stay tuned for the next episode of Married to Medicine. I am Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at Skinsmore on Instagram and Twitter, at Skinsmore89 on Snapchat, Chase King on Facebook, Mr. Chalaki on Cash App, PayPal, TikTok, and as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned. Bye.